So I hope you've enjoyed this video. You've got 8 points that will help you if you want to read the cards for yourself. A lot of people say don't read for yourself because you'll see bad things. But if you do it the way I'm showing you in this video, you'll find that you can read for yourself even every day if you want to. And at the end, I'm going to tell you about a link that you can go to where you can actually get something that's going to really help you in your tarot learning journey. So stick with us. I'm very lucky that as a tarot card reader, I've got the cards there for me to use for myself. A lot of people say that you shouldn't read cards for yourself, but I think that if you do it right, it can be a great help. But just every now and then, when you've maybe got a few things you have to consider or a few decisions to make or something like that, then I think reading the tarot cards for yourself can be a great thing. In this video, I am going to give you 8 things that you can use as tools to help you to read the tarot cards for yourself. But it is a great help sometimes. Okay, number 1, you need to set the intention. You need to make the decision that I am going to read these cards about something. So you need to think in your mind about something that you want to get an answer for, or something that is your intention, why you're reading these cards. I don't believe that reading for yourself, it's good to read in a sort of a generic, general way, because psychologically you'll find yourself seeing things that you want to see, or maybe even if you're in a bad mood, seeing things you don't want to see. So you always set an intention, and then you can keep that in your mind, and when you're shuffling the cards, you set that intention in your mind so that the cards will answer that for you. Number 2, obviously, is to shuffle the cards. Shuffle them in your normal way, and then afterwards try shuffling them in a different way, some way that maybe you don't normally use. I personally always shuffle my cards, because they're so old, by flicking the corners. But then maybe I'll shuffle them doing this, or I'll shuffle them by just shuffling them around, something, but do something different to the norm. Number 3 is you need to select one card, and that one card, I promise you, will resonate with your question, will resonate with what it is you want. My intention, I'll tell you my intention. My intention is that I would like to know whether to move home from France. And it's a big, big thing for me, because we do love it here, but I also miss my family. I miss my grandchildren, and that I'm considering going back, and I'm going to set that as my intention. So I'm going to pick a card and we'll see what it says. Okay. So I've got the 5 of Swords. Now that's not the best card. I'm not keen on sword cards. So it's not the best card, but it's there, and it could be signifying 5s. So it could say, yes, you're going to go in 5 months, or wait 5 years, or something like that. But that card is going to be my starting card, my intention card. So that is the first thing you need to do. Okay, number 4. And number 4 is the card again. And now we're going to interpret the card. Now I see this card as conflicts and troubles. I see that I'm being pulled from all directions, and I see that my choices aren't exactly the choices of the people around me. Now, I'm sure that it's nothing to do with my family back home, but it could be my partner. So this card is saying that this is one big obstacle that is going to be there, that is in conflict with my plans. As I haven't really made definite plans yet, I don't really know what I want to do, and that's why I'm reading the cards. So maybe this card is telling me that I am going to have a conflict, and I'm not going to be able to make the decision easily, but it's something I've got to get over. So I'm going to have a look at the next card. So the next card is number 5 on my list. The next card is the Tower. Now the Tower is something, is whenever you see the Tower, you will know that the Tower means that something is going to happen that you have no control over. So you're going to, it's like a lightning is striking the Tower in the picture. something is going to hit you and say, oh, that's it. That's made my decision for me. So you may have conflicts, but something is going to happen that will make your decision for you. It could be something to do with money or family or friends or whatever. So let's see what the next card brings. And the next card is number 6 on my list. And for me, the final card, because I like to work with just 3 cards when I'm doing a reading for myself. Oh, the Chariot. Now, the Chariot, it's really, you can look at the picture and it tells you that somebody's traveling, somebody's on a cart traveling, they've got the 2 horses in front of them. It's definitely something to do with movement and traveling. Right, we've got the 3 cards now, and I'm going to show you what they are to remind you. Number 7, you've got to trust your intuition. This is very, very, very difficult for people, especially new readers. If you're a new reader and you look at the cards and you think to yourself, that means that, but oh, I don't know, what if it doesn't, so shall I make this decision on the card or shall I not, and things like that. So you have to trust your intuition and trust what you feel. I know that for me, many times I've had situations where I could have changed what I was going to say because I'm thinking, no, it can't be right, it can't be right. I remember sitting in front of a lovely lad once when I was reading cards in Spain. I was in one of these English hotels and the rep wanted his reading done. He was very, very feminine, really lovely bloke, but very feminine, and I was pretty much 99% sure that he was gay. So I was reading his cards, and in his cards I could see that he was in love with this woman, and it was really hard for me. I thought to myself, well, goodness, he's going to say, well, can't you see that I'm gay, sort of thing. So I thought, no, I'm going to stick with my cards. I'm going to stick with what I believe that the cards are telling me, and I'm going to say to him what the cards say. And what I said to him was, you're in love. You're very much in love. And he sort of smiled. And I said, and it's a woman. And he looked at me and he said, how can you say that to me when you obviously can see that I'm gay? So I said, I don't care whether you're gay. I said, you're in love with a woman. And he said, well, I'm amazed. He said, because I am. He said, I met this woman. She was on holiday here. And I've never, ever, ever been interested in the opposite sex. But this woman, she really resonated with me. And I just fell in love with her. And she's coming back. She went back home to sort things out and she's coming back. And we're going to move in together. She's going to come and live here. And I said, well, I said, that's what the cards are telling you, that you're going to be so happy with this woman. So trust your intuition. Number 8 is gratitude. You have to thank the cards for giving you these feelings, for solving your problems. So when you've read the cards, and you can actually read as many cards as you want. I prefer to just go with 1 or 2 cards, but you can do a full spread. You can do just 4 cards or 5 cards or 7 cards. You can do whatever you want, whatever you feel you want to do. But at the end of it, you must have a little bit of gratitude for whatever is happening and whatever messages you've received. So remember, gratitude is number 8. I did say there was 8 points. There's probably a 9th point. And the 9th point, if you are learning to read the tarot cards, then the easiest possible way that you can get some practice is to read for yourself. So read for yourself and think about it hard. Interpret the cards by what you see and what you feel from the cards. I know that a lot of people have got books that they refer to, and like a card will come up and they'll go, oh, I've got to get this book out and everything. Well, if you go to my tarot site, it's thetarot.co.uk. On there, you can find a chart that you could print up. It's for the lower arcana, because the higher arcana are a lot more pictorial, if you like, and you can usually get to remember what they mean. But a lot of people struggle with the lower arcana cards because they're sort of like suits and all the numbers and everything else. So I created a little chart that you can actually print up and put on your wall, and that's very, very handy just to have a quick look So you're not going through this book every time and finding the right page and everything else. So, you know, have a go at that, you know, print that chart up, or print or do your own chart or whatever. But it's a good idea to have a very, very quick reference. Go by what your cards are telling you. For instance, the Tower card. There's the picture, there's the tower, there's the man falling off it, there's the lightning striking the top. That card always signifies to me that something's going to happen that I've got no control over. So it's going to be a shock, or it's going to be a surprise, or it's going to be something that you didn't know was going to happen. And that's where I interpret that card, because I can see it in the picture. So at the end of all this, I just want to say that practice and practice and practice. And if practicing means you're reading for yourself, I would say probably ask a question. If you're reading for yourself and you think you've got to practice every day and you prefer to read for yourself rather than practicing on other people, then get a question. You know, think of a question. Perhaps it's, should I cut my hair? Should I, what shall I cook for tea? You know, anything. Just think of a question and read the cards to answer that question. Even if it doesn't answer the question, you're learning, because you're getting the cards out the pack, you're learning to shuffle, and then you're learning to interpret the cards, each one as it comes up. And once you get a card up a few times, then it's gone in. That's how you learn. So every time you get this 5 of Swords up now, you should be saying to yourself, conflict, problems, somebody is going to be against what I want to do. I may find myself being pulled in 2 directions, conflict. And then when you get the other card up, which is the Tower, it's an act of God. It's something that's going to happen that you've got no control over. I hope this was helpful to you. You can use any format that you want. You can read 10 cards, 7 cards, 5 cards. I hope it was okay for you. But just remember at the end of it that as you use the cards over and over again, you'll get a deeper connection and you'll feel that intuition coming to you much more. So practice, practice, practice. Read the cards every day, even if it's just to answer one question about yourself. But read them every day and they will get into your head, and you'll be amazed how quickly you'll learn.